Hello, and welcome to your Ascension energy update for the week of March 3rd. No surprise, we're coming off the new moon in Pisces, really entering the depths of the water sign, as well as Venus recently went retrograde on the 1st of March, and we're starting to venture into Aries season. So we have this dichotomy coming up between Aries, which is really the energy of the self, versus Pisces, which is more of energy of source. So we're going to see some merging of these, really bringing a resonance and recognition to the fact that these are actually both speaking the same language, just through the different elements. All right, so as we begin, our first card that we have is the Queen of Swords. It is reversed. And so this is also coupled with, we have purification, and we had this recently as well, this exact card, purification. We have the sunflower, we've got, you know, we could call this like water bubbles coming in. Very much a spring sort of energy. Again, we've been talking about the power of the equinox this year that will happen later on in March. And it just really feels like gateways, portals, like a massive coming back together, merging of the water and the fire, of self and source, of sovereignty, of truth, of power, all of the things that we have really been working on, seemingly sort of merging together in this sort of new harmonics of the Aquarian age. And then we also have Queen of Ariel here. And nurture yourself and those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical and wise advice. Okay, so once again, a lot, this has been coming in. I think last week it did it as well. There's a lot around the throat. Still sort of this strain, and it feels as though there is still some remnants, some wisdom, and it even talks about here practical and wise advice. What's interesting is it's almost this merger, as we even see here, right, between the sunflower, sort of the earth, this solar plexus, this sun energy, this open, expansive sun energy, along with, the water kind of coming in. It feels almost like this merger between the practical and the wise, between the masculine and the feminine, between real world, what I see outside of me today, in current day and time, and this ancient wisdom. And it's learning how to balance and to find your unique harmonic set point in the dichotomy of the two, between the water, the wisdom, the memories, the fluidity, the flow, and the fire, which brings a heat, it brings a resiliency, a consistency. Um, it is not only the energy of burning it down, but it also is the spark of creation. So coming more into this and letting and releasing. So we have this Queen of Swords reversed, which feels like um, really clearing the outside voices, really clearing the responsibility energy, the burden energy, the need for validation, like looking for someone else to tell you where that harmonic is, looking for something outside of you. And this is perhaps because of the inversions in the matrix, because of, the mirror that is reflecting things in a certain way that we are taking to be literal. And yet we recognize that nothing is literal. Everything is a metaphor. Everything is presented in a way that every single person has an equal opportunity to take that information and digest it and create from it in a way that feels harmonious. Again, this word, it keeps coming in, feels harmonious and natural for them. The storyline could be the same for all of us in many ways. It is the same for all of us, and yet it's different. Because the way I tell the story is my unique creative way of doing so, and the way you tell the story, and it's going to show up a little bit different. So we have infinite possibilities, and we've got trillions of souls on the earth right now, all telling their own unique story. And so if you are playing your own game with your own story, that means you have your own rules. That means you have your own harmony. That means you have your own way of interpreting and integrating the wisdom and perceiving the reality. That means that nobody else is going to have the answers for you. You can be guided. You can be supported, but the power has to lie within you. And so, not only letting go of putting this responsibility on others, right? Like, I need you to do this for me, needing external validation, but also harnessing the power or harnessing the responsibility, taking responsibility for what you have created and taking responsibility for what you're about to create, knowing that you are the guru of whatever this is and whatever it has been. Okay, so then we have Three of Pentacles also reversed. This is coming with the number 11, the Strength card of Ariel, and we've got Lion. Now it's very interesting because we have the energy of Leo also coming in very much right now in the astrology. So we have strength and grace, grace being a big there's definitely some energy of as we work through kind of what I was just talking about in the first set of cards, releasing responsibility, taking on responsibility. It's doing it with both, and again, this dichotomy of strength, very masculine, and grace, very feminine, through kindness, self-confidence, and forgiveness. Okay, and this forgiveness energy also feels so grace, forgiveness, both of these energies feel very pertinent, very potent right now. As you see that we've got a lion and we have a female sort of angel once again, bringing in this balance, bringing in this full sort of sovereign union. And the word sovereign feels very pertinent because it is not a union built off of what others think it should be or how anyone else has done it. This is you really stepping into your role as the creator and finding how it is that you have come here. When you first came here, before you came here, how have you come here? What are your strengths, right? That you're here to explore, that you're here to share, that you're here to gift the world. And then also having some grace around those that are not necessarily your strengths, but are others. And knowing that this is where we can support and where we can be guided. This is where we can build. This is where we can create. This is where we learn. This is where we grow. And so having this balance between the two and knowing that they're not separate, that we are not waiting to be ready to create, the readiness comes from creation. And it comes once again, I'm telling you, this card is, I think this is 3 weeks in a row. Once again, potential. And so what this really feels like is that we are entering this stage of recognition. Oh, I got full chills right now, where it is expansion, full expansion through ownership, through, and the lights are like changing on my ring light here. Yeah, it's doing some fun stuff here. So it is full expansion. Remember, the potential that comes out of this volcano is created from within. It explodes out, not the other way. Okay, so it is expanding through your power, expanding through your uniqueness, expanding through your harmony, expanding through your power, expanding through your truth. Take up space. This is a time not to go searching for more, but to recognize the more that is sitting right in front of you, that is sitting in your field, that is ready to be claimed, that is ready to be expressed, that you have not fully acknowledged or recognized or harnessed. It is more in the sense of taking up space and expanding versus I need to learn more, I need to do more. It is I need to be more. This is what this energy coming in this week. You may feel That if you're still trying to push, right? The masculine is almost like offering himself up to be alchemized here back into a new set point, into a new balance, because it's like you played with the feminine. The last couple of weeks, the masculine has been showing up strong, and now it's like, okay, so where do I harness both in a balanced way for yourself? Okay? It's not necessarily 50-50. This is your unique set point. Okay. Then we have temperance coming in. And this is really about having a shift in the mindset, right? This is about having being very reflective. It's a harmonious relationship. It's this like instead of it being wobbly or back and forth, it's more like feels like a deep exhale, right? Just like a relaxation of the nervous system, a recognition that we're safe, that we're okay, that we can do this, that we don't have to like, when your nervous system's a little revved up and you're like, you're just trying to like frantically shift out of it and make the emotions go away, make something change. And this is more like a settling in. Okay, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've shifted this, we've moved through this, we've done all of these things. Now, harness it, utilize it, create with it, move from it. All right, so this is coupled with Archangel Shamuel. Number 12, perspective here. You'll see he's sort of flipped upside down, which in many ways to me feels like recognizing that a lot of times the way we're seeing things, they're in reverse. This is an inversion. It will have you chasing your tail, and it'll have you chasing your tail for a long time until you have the recognition that for in this example, movement is often found in stillness. Expansion is often found in stillness versus the belief that movement comes from doing. Movement comes from forcing. Movement comes from overexertion. And this is saying, actually, even that is movement. Shifting a perspective is movement. Shifting a perspective is growth and expansion. There's a better way, pause for reflection and insight, dare to be different. So it is very much calling us again into our own unique set point, our own power, our own sovereignty, really beginning to utilize and get clear on all that you have called in over the last, little over a year now, perhaps several years now. And let's really start playing with who are you now? And we have stillness. And we have the swan, right? So again, the call to go within, the call to let the dust settle, to really listen. If you're feeling any exhaustion this week, it's probably because there are messages and downloads and wisdom wanting to drop in, and you're going to need to be still to receive them. Okay. Then we have the Four of Swords, which is really this sort of truce energy. I'm done. I lay down my sword. Take a breath, right? We were just talking about that. When we talk about the breath, we are definitely talking about power. We're talking about authority. We're talking about a pranic energy. It is letting go of the mental overload. And it is a need for going within, perhaps even physical solitude and relaxation, right? Allow the stillness to speak louder. Allow the silence to speak louder than your words. Actually, when I was in a Temazcal this past week, which is a sweat lodge in Mexico, we had a rattle that we passed around from person to person, and everyone talked about what they were grateful for and kind of shared what, perhaps some words of wisdom. And the rattle came to me, and I really felt like there was nothing to say. And so I shook the rattle for a little bit, and then I just said, I'm going to allow the silence to speak louder than my words. And that was the only thing I said. So I feel like it's a little bit of let the elements speak, let the water speak, let the fire speak, let the earth speak, let your breath speak. Give space and room for the expansion of wisdom to come in and to provide you with the information, the clarity, the activation that you're deeply desiring, coupled with flow, right? We've got full moon above, although, we're not entering the full moon next week, but we do have sort of nightfall, the water, right? Again, this um, call to the water, to the wisdom, and even in the stillness, you probably can't see this. Maybe you can. There is crystalline or, water crystals here. So again, a reference to um, remembrance, to our memories, to the ancient wisdom, right? That is housed within the water and rebalancing and reharmonizing our inner waters to a new resonance. So beautiful. And then once again, the flow, bringing in back more the flow, more the intuition, coming back into sort of it's almost like the last couple of months even, the masculine's been a little bit more heightened and it was needed. It was needed. So this is not a bad thing. It's just what has been needed. Whew. Nice little breath there, I felt. And almost like even within the body, some of you may have experienced some higher levels of testosterone. And it's like, don't worry, it's coming back into balance. We're rebalancing, we're rebalancing, we're rebalancing, coming back into flow. And then this is coupled with 9 of Ariel. This is our final card. And if you'll see, we've got Ariel, we've got the 9, which is completion energy coming to an end. We have the rainbow. She's got a flag flying. And it says, your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. Now, what's interesting is Queen Ariel also talked about beautiful things. So the ability to make anything more beautiful. So again, it feels like the work we're doing this week is really bringing us into a new set point, really starting to elaborate the beauty of the work that we're doing, the beauty of what we're creating, the beauty of actually creating from what is versus thinking. There needs to be more pieces of this puzzle that I need to retrieve before I can create. Really, the energy of this week says, guess what? You have all the pieces. The pieces are all there now. You have brought all of the pieces in. There's nothing else left to gather. I simply want you to sit and allow the puzzle to come together within. Create the space, create the movement through stillness, and allow the beauty of this process of the way you receive it, the way you communicate it, the way you express it, to naturally align. Okay, and it does feel very much like inner communication, right? Really listening to the softer voices that require the stillness, that require less noise, to be heard, to be acknowledged, and to also embrace a little bit more of your power in speaking your truth and recognizing that there are people here, and perhaps you're one, who are here to speak in a way that perhaps creates a little shock and awe, but it does so because it is within the uniqueness of what you have to say that we learn from each other. And to hold your set, your harmonics, hold that power and sovereignty for yourself, irregardless of what anyone else or how anyone else sets theirs. Okay, this is the energy for this following week for March. I am so excited to see where this is going because this is a big month. As we really reach what feels like, at least during this first quarter, the equinox, things are revving up. Things are getting very interesting in this year 9, in this year of the snake. And I really, things are about to get really, really, really good and really, really interesting. Continuing to hold space for those who are experiencing this year in more of a chaotic way. Recognize the 9 is going to bring your attention to everywhere you're out of alignment. So if you're feeling yourself really revved up by the fire, right? Really pulled into the politics or really pulled into the way it should be or into the righteousness. How can you ground yourself a little bit more? How can you bring in a little bit more water? How can you recalibrate to a whole new sovereign set point and recognize you create your reality? Nobody else does. All right. I have posted below still access to my authentic self reprogramming, subconscious reprogramming audio. I want to say course, but it's not even a course. It's literally 10 to 12 audios where we're going through and we're reprogramming in the subconscious anything that feels like it's blocking your ability to really speak your truth boldly, to express yourself audaciously, and to really come into your own power in a way that's going to really help you throughout the rest of this year and every single year here to come. If you want to check that out, click the link below, and I look forward to seeing you on next week's Energy Update.